On June 28, 1914, a 19-year-old named Gavrilo Princip fired 2 shots in a Sarajevo alleyway. Within 6 weeks, 9 million soldiers were dead. Within 4 years, 4 empires had ceased to exist entirely. And for over a century, we've been told the same story. 1 man, 1 gun, 1 spark. But here's the thing. That spark didn't start a fire. It landed in a room that was already soaked in gasoline. So who filled the room? This is the real story behind World War I. Not the assassination, not the Archduke, the version they glossed over in your history class, the one that actually explains why half the world went to war in under 2 months over a political killing that, under any normal circumstances, would have been handled with a strongly worded letter. The truth involves decades of secret treaties, arms races spinning out of control, and a handful of men so afraid of losing power that they chose catastrophe over compromise. Sound familiar? Let's go back. To understand 1914, you need to understand 1871. That's the year Germany unified. Overnight, a brand new industrial giant appeared at the center of Europe, and every other major power, Britain, France, Russia, Austria-Hungary, had to figure out what to do about it. What followed was 40 years of nervous maneuvering, secret alliances, counter-alliances, arms buildups dressed up as defense spending. By 1914, Europe had split into 2 armed camps, the Triple Entente and the Triple Alliance, and every nation's military planners had war schedules already printed and sitting in filing cabinets, just waiting. The average person in Vienna or Paris or Berlin in 1913 had no idea how close to the edge they were living. But everything was about to change. In June 1914, Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, visited Sarajevo. His motorcade was already attacked once that morning. His driver took a wrong turn, and Gavrilo Princip, who had given up and walked into a nearby deli, looked up and found the Archduke's car stalled directly in front of him. 2 shots. The Archduke and his wife were dead before the car reached the hospital. Now here's what your textbook skips. Austria-Hungary saw this not as a tragedy, but as an opportunity. They'd been looking for a justification to crush Serbia for years. They sent an ultimatum so deliberately humiliating it was designed to be rejected. Serbia accepted almost every single demand. Almost. Austria-Hungary declared war anyway. What's fascinating here is the speed of collapse. Within 37 days of the assassination, the major powers of Europe were at war, not because of who died, but because of the machinery nobody could stop once it started moving. The aftermath was staggering. 20 million dead. The Ottoman Empire gone. The Austro-Hungarian Empire dissolved. The Russian Tsar overthrown, paving the way for the Soviet Union. A humiliated Germany handed terms so punishing they would spend the next 2 decades building toward revenge. We called it the war to end all wars. That should tell you everything. And here's what history books don't tell you. The men who started this war weren't monsters. They were scared bureaucrats protecting institutions they didn't know how to reform. They had systems, alliances, mobilization timetables, prestige politics, and no mechanism to pause any of it. The real lesson of 1914 isn't about assassins. It's about what happens when powerful nations build systems that can't de-escalate, when pride becomes policy, when the structure itself becomes the danger. Today, we live in a world of interlocking alliances, nuclear tripwires, and leaders who've never experienced the cost of a miscalculation at scale. The The question isn't whether a Franz Ferdinand moment will happen again. It's whether this time anyone will have the courage to stop the car. History is full of stories like this. The buried decisions, the ignored warnings, the moments where one choice changed everything. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.